about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, if you don't leave me alone, you're gonna have to send me home, 'cause I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your DJ,
Mickey the Kid.
Excuse me, what happened if you mash this button?
I'm no meteorologist, but I'm pretty sure it's raining bitches.
Mickey the Kid.
On one hot summer day, an engineer came into the control room wearing nothing but a pair of bathing trunks. This was the result.
Philippine Airlines And once again, back to
world famous.
Oh, yeah. We're doing this. I think I got all this audio stuff figured out. I think. Don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to any of it. We'll see what happens. Oh, man. So, I don't know how your day was. My day always starts off a little funky. Gets a little kooky. You know, it's good that I have, I'm able to collect thoughts today. You know, because sometimes you just lose your shit, you know, on people. You know, stuff that happens, events that happen in your life, you know, and sometimes you just have to step away from stuff that just doesn't concern you. And I always have to remember that, you know, the greatest advice my dad ever gave me was he said, Michael, remember this. So he goes, if you want to live a happy life, there's two types of business in this world. Your business and none of your business. Words to live by from a very wise man. Miss him. He was my best friend. He's my hero. He's my dad. And you know what? I hope any of you fathers out there that are dropping in right now, hanging out, guys I know, guys that used to listen to my show up in PA, you know, all across the country with Mancow in Chicago, Waking Up with the Wolf up in upstate New York, you know, Power 96, you know, wherever you found me. Maybe we're friends on Facebook. Maybe we're friends on TikTok. Maybe we're friends, you know. Maybe we're just friends. Huh? I hope all you dads out there had an awesome Father's Day, you know. And all you stepdads out there, you know, maybe those stepdads that don't have kids, but you know, married into some kids. You know, you guys deserve a lot of credit, man. If you're out there, you know, busting your ass and putting in the work, taking care of some kids that you didn't bring into this world, man, you're that guy. Yeah, you got a lot of people that, as much as you don't think respect you. Takes a big man to step in and do that stuff. Woo! Man, I don't know where you're at, but here in Florida, it is hot. It's hot. You know, the place of my business today, they had a big awards luncheon, and you know, it's great to work at a place you're proud to work at, and I love working where I work. And if you know where I work and you've been there, then you understand. You know, I love camaraderie, but like the business I'm in and the work that I do, you know, we're all like a football team, you know, like a bunch of jocks in the gym locker room, just waiting to, you know, do what we do. But it's nice when, you know, the people you work for treat you like family, you know, the guys that you're working with, you know, look forward to seeing you, or you look forward to seeing them. I can't say I look forward to seeing them. Well, I look forward to seeing most people, yeah. I like just about everybody there, you know, because I don't let, you know, attitude and all that other stuff get in the way. You know, look, people are going to piss you off. You got choices. You know, I got to turn that down just a little bit. You know, you have an opportunity, you know, and this is what I find out every day is that, you know, we're tested, you know, you're tested, your mettle is tested every day. And, you know, it's how you respond or react to it, you know, because let me tell you something. There isn't times that in my head, like the ESPN ticker is going right across the bottom of the screen. It's like, choke that mother effer out. You know, just give him an elbow to the throat and let him drop on the floor. You know, flop around like a goldfish fresh out of the bowl. You know what I mean? You watch that stuff and kind of giggle and point at him while he's on the floor. Now, in my sick, demented mind, you know, sometimes that's where I go. You know, I picture it. I envision it like a movie. You know, but then, you know, what does that solve? It solves nothing. You know, so I learned how to make my way through my day. You know, it's navigating the waters of life. It's the best way I could say it. It's like, you know, you're in this stream, and then all of a sudden it's that stream. You're like whitewater rafting. You know, all of a sudden it's getting rocky and rough, and you know, it might spin you around a couple of times, but somehow you wind up back on track, and you know, because you can get sidetracked. And in the business I'm in, that I work in, it's you can get blacked out real quick. You know, it can set the whole tone of your day. You know, and even the tone of your day can set the tone of your day, and it could set the tone of your week. You know, and working in let's just say it, I work in the car business. You know, I was working in radio for years, man. You know, but radio don't pay. I can tell you that. You know, not unless you're, you know, Ryan Seacrest. You know, Rush Limbaugh when he was around, God rest his soul. You know, unless you're, you know, a majorly syndicated performer, radio is pathetic. They want you to wear like 16 hats. You know, they want you to do the job of 5 people and get paid for the, you know, for the job of 1 peasant. You know, I think the best money I ever made was, 2 places I made the best money. I made great money at a radio station called Pix 106. In Albany, New York. I made really, really good money there. Really, I mean, that was a great place to work. And I made really good money in Dallas, Texas. You know, Dallas, Texas pays well. You know, hell, just even being a producer and comedy writer for Mancow paid really well. But when you get into these big companies, you know, there's some of the ones that I work for, you know, they don't want to pay for talent. And you know, the talent that they do have, like your nationally syndicated guys like Ryan Seacrest, you know, they stole Ryan Seacrest from American Idol, and bam, there all of a sudden he became, you know, this larger-than-life guy. And then they signed him to like a $186 million deal over like 8 years or something like that. Some ridiculous amount of money. You know, and, you know, everybody thinks, you know, that when you're in radio that you're making, like, radio people make great money. Let me tell you, man, that the median salary for let's say a 50 and below market. Let's say you're not working in a top 50 market. You're working in a 50 and below market. And unless you're doing mornings, like if you're an afternoon guy or a midday person, man, they're paying peanuts, $30,000, $35,000. You know, I know the radio stations that I work for in this area are, you know, do not pay well at all. Yeah, it's the 60th largest market in the country where I'm at here in Fort Myers. And the pay is terrible. Absolutely dreadful. And you wouldn't be able to live on a radio personality's salary or, you know, at this day and age at 45. Even in some of the other markets that I work where you're making $55,000 and $65,000 a year, you know, the cost of living in some of those areas is extraordinary. Chicago ain't cheap, baby. Chicago ain't cheap. Upstate New York wasn't cheap, you know, but I made good money there. Made a lot of bonuses. We were always number one morning show. You know, PA was decent, but you know, again, the money wasn't great. You know, especially when you got other radio shows out there that are just making, you know, great money. You know, so. And the other thing is like all the big shows that are paid ridiculous. I've negotiated every contract that I had. You know, some guys hire an agent and then wind up, you know, pissing away their money to an agent, you know, to make 6 figures. And, you know, but your agent just got 15% of your 6 figures. So do the math on that. So, there's a lot of stuff. But anyway, today was so hot here, man, and it's like you are just melting out on the lot, man, when just looking for a human being to talk to. And it's great because the industry's bouncing back. Like where I work, we have inventory on the lot. It's great. Trucks, cars, we got it. Got the largest used car inventory in the area. It's good stuff. But as we navigate through the waters of life, and I can get squirrel off into look, hey, sparkles. I can squirrel off into the next century. But I just find that and if you're struggling with this, man, I hope this is some great piece of information for you. Is that man, just make it through it. Just navigate. Some people aren't worth your time. And some people definitely aren't worth your energy. Don't ever allow anybody to have the power over your energy and your emotions. It's like a great example. My wife works for this guy, and when she started working with him, it was this really great setup. He was like Mr. Nice Guy, but he was just the most, as she explained, one of the most disorganized guys that she's ever met. And like everything is just strung out all over the place. You don't know where the files are for half the jobs that they're doing. And so she came in and, created this work system in a CRM and, all this stuff. And this guy was like, I don't like the notifications. Well, you can turn the notifications off. And then anyway, the long and the short of the story is because, I could keep you here forever, is, the guy just snatched notes out of her hand today and really upset her. And I just told her, I said, fucking quit. Drop it. You don't need to be treated like shit, that's for sure. I'm not going to work someplace where I'm treated like that. You can find employment. Employment's out there, man. There's some great jobs. Hell, half the shit you can do remotely now. I don't know if you've, I have, my wife is on Indeed and LinkedIn and Glassdoor and all these places, looking for, there's jobs. There are jobs out there. Jobs that you don't even have to show up to an office to. So you don't even have to take anybody's shit. Speaking of jobs, let's talk a little football. I don't know if you heard the news. Apparently, Ndamukong Suh, if you're a Bucs fan, which I don't know where you stand on the whole Ndamukong Suh thing. Maybe you like him, maybe you don't. Maybe you think he's a Hall of Famer. Maybe I don't. Yeah, his stats might dictate some of that, but not all of that is fair. I don't think he's worth all that. But what do I know? I'm just a guy with an opinion. But when you look at football, the Tampa Bay Bucs. Rob Gronkowski, he just announced his retirement. Tom Brady's busy, lotioning up his hand to jerk him off because oh yeah, great Rob, And Tom, Tom's great. I'm not going to say anything bad about Tom. The guy is one of the most legendary quarterbacks in the business. This guy, he's probably worth gazillions of dollars. He's got 4 or 5 different brands. He's got a bunch of stuff going. But Ndamukong Suh was, I guess, one of the thriving and leading forces over there. He was the number 2 overall pick for the Detroit Lions years ago. And he was hoping to stay with the Bucs for a 4th season, but apparently this is not going to happen. The guy's 36 years old. Recorded 13 quarterbacks hits last season, 7 tackles, and 17. I think it was over the course of 17. 6 sacks or something like that over the course of 17 games. But the Bucs apparently are letting him go. I don't like the guy. I've never liked the guy because I always thought he was dirty after the Aaron Rodgers thing when he stepped on his ankle or his leg or something like that. Remember that game, the Packers versus the Lions, and then Ndamukong Suh just kind of jumped almost on his leg. And I thought that was kind of shitty. You don't do that. But they say it stands to reason Suh would want to join a contending team, which, yeah, he could wind up in New Orleans. I wouldn't be surprised. Possibly the Rams. Could he go back to the Rams? He might. Makes sense. Nobody knows if Odell Beckham's even going to be healthy to play anywhere. It's a lot of stuff. And then you got the whole Deshaun Watson thing. If you didn't see the news today, 20 out of the 24 women that have the cases against him are accepting a settlement. 4 holding off. The other 2 remaining ones, I guess, they've got separate attorney. There's a hefty suspension coming down because now this really kind of makes him look pretty guilty if you look at it. Depending on how you look at it. If you're writing a check to 20 ladies, well, there might be some truth to those allegations. But then again, you look at Michael Jackson. Many people think that he wrote checks for every person that accused him. Even if their kid wasn't at his house, they were accusing him. He was just saying, "Oh, let me write a check for that. Tito, get my wallet, please. Let's write a check. Macaulay wants one too? Yeah, let me write one." So, I mean, Watson is, he's into, doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to see what's going on here. Let's just put it that way, Watson. It's just interesting. And then the whole Baker Mayfield. I know I talked about this yesterday, but it's just it shows up like if I don't know if you're on Microsoft Edge or any of that stuff, all the news that pops up. Every other story is the storyline behind Baker Mayfield. The Cleveland Browns are willing to cut half here's Deshaun Watson and whatever. So they're serving it up hot. And the Browns, hell knows, what? I should probably, in my best interest. Let me look up while I'm sitting here talking to you. I can look that up real quick and see what is going on there because the Browns. I understand they want to pony up some money, but I don't think they got the capital. I just don't think that they're going to have the capital to do it. So let me see. Let's see what kind of Cleveland Browns news we got right here. Let's see here. Because the latest thing I saw, so they're excusing, as of recently, they excused Baker Mayfield from mandatory workouts. He's excused from the mini camp. That's a mutual decision by the players. And then that just came out like 6 hours ago, what they're saying. Cleveland Browns have been searching for a trade partner for the quarterback Baker Mayfield since the conclusion of the 21 season. Apparently, the Browns are willing to pay upward to half of Mayfield's roughly $9 to $10 million of the 19 due him. $9 million. They're willing to pay $9 to $10 million to facilitate a trade. And I don't know. I just don't see anybody jumping on that. I mean, Baker at best looked mediocre last year. It's not like he's Jameis Winston, throwing 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, and threw for 5,000 yards. You want to root for the guy. He's got he's a quirky character. He's fun. But can he get the job done? I don't know. And then, there was rumors that the Browns were trying to get out of their deal with Deshaun Watson and the Texans. Cleveland's it's a mess, man. It is just a mess. That team is a shit stain on the underwear of the NFL. Honest to God, they are just struggling and struggling and struggling. And that's where they're going to run into. They're going to run into stuff. They're going to have some serious problems. Where is? And I probably, I probably did. Let me look at something real quick. So, you can call the show, just so you know. Speaking of which, I got a lot to put this on here. Do that. Let's do that. And one of these. There we go. Perfectamundo. We're ready to roll. We're ready to roll, suckers. Yeah, we got the phone there. So if you can see right right there. We have some phoneage. And you can always call the show, 323-374-3855. I love phone calls. I love talking to people. You know, and in other interesting news, I found this to be, it just popped up in my news feed today, you know, because you have some board time, you're sitting down, you're on your phone, you're looking at some shit, reading the news, and I found this to be epically hysterical. And this was caught by a couple of fishermen. Now, I see these guys that, I don't know if you're watching, like, if you see these TikTok reels or these Facebook reels where people are like magnet fishing, they're using a magnet, and like some high-powered Big Daddy throwing that thing out there, and they're coming back with, like, I saw a guy today, he came back with like a go-kart frame, a bicycle, what looked like an old bomb, you know, shell casing from like World War 60. I don't know. And just like all these crazy metal things. Well, let me tell you about these two fishermen, Richard Kessler and John Hoop. They're all in Shelbyville, Indiana. There's Shelbyville, Indiana. We're up there in the Indiana. Well, we went out to do some fishing. Well, and you won't believe it, we can notice about a big surprise. I say, we noticed when we got it in that boat them there, and its stomach was huge. I'm talking, this was a big old fish, man. Those big bites, he was a big old fish. We got him up there in the boat. And at first, we assumed it was because they had some of them their eggs in it. Well, you know, it wasn't eggs. We thought it might have even been some wildlife or fish it ate. But it's common to find other fish, sometimes turtles, muskrats, and other animals, he said. You know, wasn't until later in the day that we actually pressed down on the catfish's abdomen and felt two hard objects. Now, them there fellers couldn't be eggs now, could they? What do you think, Cletus? I don't know, John. Well, when they returned to Kessler's house, they decided to open that big old dumb dark catfish. And they discovered what was bulking in the fish's belly. The fish's tummy, a foam ball, part of another fish, and a fairly large-sized dildo. Now, I don't know how you're fishing with depending on the length and the girth, and, you know, I don't know how you're putting that bitch, and the size of the hook to whip one of them sons of bitches out into a stream. You know what I mean? That pole is already bending. I don't know if those guys were high on acid or mushrooms. The guys who, before these two baboons found this catfish. But whoever the ding-dong was, no pun intended, fishing with a dildo, a big pink dildo. You know, I mean, you are trying to catch one big-ass bass. You're trying to catch like a 140-pound bass with that big old worm. Anyway, they I got a picture of it. Just so I got to show it to you. So this is the picture of it, and yeah, that was inside a cat. Now, first of all, how fucking big was that catfish? I mean, look at the guy standing in the background, and look at the size of that foam ball and that dong. And the dong has a suction cup on the bottom of it. You see that? And the balls look a little bit wrecked, man. This guy is they really ran this thing through the mud, no pun intended. I mean, that's one muddy creek that thing's been swimming around. But it was in the gullet of a catfish. But how fucking big was that catfish, dude? That's a huge catfish. That is one big ass catfish. Anyway, Kessler posted these pictures on Facebook. He said that by the end of Tuesday, they had 19,000 shares. He said it has also created some challenges for him. He's a dad of a 3-year-old girl. Yeah, I bet, Pops. He says, well, when it came out, John and my wife and I just started laughing. My wife immediately covered my daughter's eyes and turned her from it. Don't want to see that big old lure, that old Billy Bass there done swallowed. Old Billy Catfish, Charlie Catfish got it. And of course, when you're, I don't know how old his daughter is. I think he said did he say he mentioned it? He didn't mention it, but he said that the daughter kept asking what it was. And, of course, that's a conversation for a different time. You're not having that conversation of why there is a dildo with a suction cup on the bottom of it in a catfish's belly. I just think people are, who does that? I mean, how does that catfish? I'm just enamored. I honestly am. Because I really would like to know how that catfish took all that. Yeah, Daddy, put it on the hook. What is that? I mean, that catfish must have been a porn star in another age. I have no idea. What's the weirdest thing you found in a river or a creek? If you want to call me and we can talk about it, I would love to discuss that. I'm trying to think of some weird shit that I found in a creek. Because, when I lived in Ohio, we had a woods behind us and there was always teenagers back there burning shit. And you'd always find like a Playboy in the woods. Looks like it sat through like 6 rainstorms. Papers were all wrinkled like a flag blowing in the wind. Couldn't even get a good shot of the boobs. And you're like, yeah, had to uncrinkle the pages. And your friends are tearing the pages out. I'm going to go over here. You're over there while he's standing there looking at you, you're throwing dirt bombs at him. I'm trying to think of the weirdest stuff I've ever found. Like I've found some weird stuff, and I know I have over the course of my life. And I just can't jog my memory right now for anything. I am absolutely at an absolute draw. One thing I will tell you, though, golf carts and beer usually can possibly lead to an arrest. There was an interview that I saw, I think it was in Salon Magazine or one of these places. I forget, I'd have to look at it. It's just in some of my prep notes here. She said that, after enough beers, and I don't know if you know, maybe one of these guys, these type of guys, and maybe he's one of those older, unfiltered kind of guys. I don't know who you golf with. But this golf course server lady says that an older male golfer threatened her with little sexual violence over the weekend. Of course, he's banned from the course. Yeah, she posted a TikTok about her experience. She says that the man who seemed to be about 60 years old yelled at her after she told him she didn't have any Corona Light beer. Who the fuck drinks Corona Light? What man? Can I get your man card, fella? Wish you knew the guy's name. We'd call that cat out on call him out right out on the age right now, because nobody's drinking Corona Light. What are you drinking? Ultra Light to it? Let me get a Corona Light with a Ultra Light or a Michelob Ultra Light chaser. Crazy. She said I made a joke to his friends that the T awkwardly saying, somebody come get your dad. She said that. He said, I'll bend you over the cart and show you who's your daddy. Very aggressively. He could have been joking. And she calls that threatening her with sexual violence. She wrote on TikTok that she wanted to knock him out. And she said that his behavior landed him a lifetime ban from the golf course. Of course, on Monday, her video had almost 850,000 views. Some commenters on Lewis's video accused her of making the entire story up. I wouldn't be surprised about that either. Looking at, let's get a look at her. Yeah, she looks like little Miss Dingbat. Blonde hair, blue eyes. She could be a little TikTok seductress, just looking for attention. She says, of all the things that never happened, this never happened the most. One person, they said, yeah, that didn't happen. And if you swung, he would have buried you. That's probably correct. Others said that her behavior warranted the man's reaction. Kind of, yeah. If somebody come get your daddy, yeah, I'll bend you over that cart, honey, and show you who's your daddy. Give you a good old-fashioned spanking. Anyway, I'm so happy you don't know what it's like to go through this, Miss Lewis wrote. Shay Lewis on TikTok. Oh, my God. Like I have over 1 million followers at my golf cart job. Anyway, and then one commenter joked. He said, it's always the dudes with wives, too, isn't it? Lewis wrote that she hoped he's not married. She said, in 6 years of working as a golf course server, obviously she has high aspirations. She's obviously looking for a sugar daddy on that golf course. Gonna guess that. She had never experienced anything like that or what that man said to her. She also said that members who brought the man onto the course with them stuck up for her and promised never to bring him back to the course. I don't know. I just don't know how much of that you want to buy. You know, how much do you want to buy? That's the crazy part about all that. You know, it's we could all get ranked into all that. But I don't know. And then of course, then there's the whole I just can't. I don't know if you find yourself with this as well, because all I hear daily, or you hear the topic of conversation, especially at a car dealership is the price of gas, and we're selling a lot of EVs. Let me tell you that EVs are. We don't even have one for sale. You have to order them at this point. All the incoming is all got deposits on them, and you can't even get your hands on an EV. So, but if it's not the topic of gas prices, it's the talk of the president, and then if it's not the talk of how he's ruining the country, and then it's the money we're sending to Ukraine that could be being spent here, and then. Other people on oh my God, like today it was like, oh my God, I heard of everything from, well, if we don't give the money to Ukraine, then Russia, is going to, if they can take over them, then they're going to think they could come to America next. So we need to put forces and, give them all the great weapons and give them all this. And so they combat Russia and keep them at bay and yada, 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 yada. I am so over the news. So over the news. And the Putin price hike. If I hear Putin price hike one more time, I heard some guy say that today in the dealership, and I was just like, what the fucking Putin? Really? It's the Biden price hike. By trying to go to all green energy and refusing to open up pipelines and refusing to grant permits. Hey, we've opened it up. Everybody can apply for a permit to drill for oil and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to bring the country back. And I'm going to go over and negotiate some oil deal with Saudi. I'm going to go over and negotiate some oil deal with, what was my name? With Saudi Arabia. And it's nuts. It's nuts. And now Russia's like the leading supplier of oil for China. It's the other one I saw. And then, it's just those two guys, just building each other up. For what? If you look at the writing on the wall, man, if you're really paying attention, then that there's some shit coming. There's got to be something bigger. There's always there's something that they're doing. There's something that's coming that they're hiding. Whatever it is. Yeah, and I hate to go down the conspiracy theory road because that shit just drives me up a wall. But it's like, when you see stuff going on, what's one to think? And it drives me nuts because everybody's talking about it and I just can't escape it. And it's like, oh my God, everybody wants to talk about politics, and oh yeah, the November primaries and this, that, and the other, and who are you voting for? Man, look, it's going to be what it's going to be. That's really the God's honest truth. And I look at it this way, you know, if you were a Trump fan or if you're a Biden fan, whatever kind of fan you are and whatever side of the aisle you need to claim and whatever color you want to be, you know, whether you're red or blue, red or blue. It reminds me, speaking of red or blue, oh my God, this has never been a better time for this. But it just doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't matter because you know what, and this is the way I look at it, very simply, is that as long as you don't F with my ability to take care of my family, you know, to feed them, keep a roof over their head, and, you know, get all that stuff done, then I'm okay. And I don't care who's president, honestly. Didn't vote last election. Probably should have. Didn't. Because I didn't like Trump. Trump was a chump. You know, he had to stay on the he was constantly on social media. It's like, bro, couldn't you just for your last effing year just canned it? You know, taking your ego out of the equation and just been a goddamn president? Maybe you would have got reelected. You know, instead, and then you got the January 6th and the insurgency, the deplorables raided the Capitol, and oh my God. You know, and that's the world we're living in. You know, and it doesn't matter. I didn't like Biden. I definitely didn't like Biden. There's no way I was getting on board with that clown hiding out in a bunker doing, you know, podcasting interviews with, you know, odd people. You know, and then you just watched all these movements to happen and then the riots. I mean, that's why I'm trying to catch you guys up like where I'm at, because we haven't caught up like this. But I just watched all this shit go on. And, you know, and Donald's going to tell you how huge it's going to be, tremendously beautiful when Joe fails, if he doesn't kill himself riding his bicycle, you know, because he's not wearing he wore a helmet. Maybe he should ride it without a helmet. Then maybe he can run the country. Maybe you'll have like that cute mule kick to the head moment in time where he'll go from being a big dumb head to a genius, tremendous genius. I don't know. You know, and there is no lesser of the two evils between either of those idiots. I mean, here's the great news. You know, that Trump when Trump was in office, you know, 2020, end of 2020, beginning of 21. We're paying $2.69 or $2.29 a gallon. You know, now we're paying upwards almost $5. You know, there was no inflation. Jobs were great. Everything was thriving. People were making money. Yeah, the coronavirus. And of course, Joe took all the credit for the vaccine and everything else in the country being where it's at right now. Of course he did. But yeah, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. We got 2 more years of this shit. You know, you got to ride this out. And then that's the thing is so like today it was all about, you know, oh yeah, how many more Republicans we're going to get in the country, and you know, all these people that were Democrat, I wonder if they're switching to Republican, you know, because you know, Democrat is the working class, and you know, they're the middle class that are making, you know, $80,000 and less, and they're paying the high dollar rents, and they're paying the high dollar at the pump, and you know, who would vote for that again? I don't know. I don't have that answer. You know, and those high-paying jobs, you know, I mean, you know, you just got to be out there looking around. That's for sure. You know, if you want a high-paying job, you got to be out there looking for that high-paying job, or be, you know, some people say be in sales. You know, and then wonder if Donald J. Trump is going to run again. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be huge. I'm going to kill everybody at every, you know, GOP event. You know, I'm just going to slaughter them. It's going to be tremendous because I'm tremendous. My hair's tremendous. Look at Melania. Doesn't she look great? She's got some great cleavage. Like those girls at the, you know, the Tropicana bikini festivals I go to rub oil. Like at Epstein's Island. Yeah, it's tremendously huge. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. What's really weird is that, you know, with the cost of gas, everything goes up, you know, I mean, or fuel. I should just say fuel in general. Fuel, because truckers, trains, everything takes fuel. Jets, travel is going to get more expensive. You know, so if you want to go see your relatives, instead of paying $200 for a ticket, you're going to pay $600. And it's just getting more ridiculous and more ridiculous and more ridiculous. So, you know, that's where we're at. You know, it reminds me. I got something for, speaking of old Donnie Trump. Let's get this one off. Yeah.
Hi there. I'm Bob Ross, and welcome to the joy of painting Donald Trump's wiener. So let's go ahead and grab that orange. And we're going to start with a 2-inch brush. And, oh, shoot, let's get crazy. Let's grab that 1-inch brush. Just an inch. After all, it's your painting. You can make Donald's wiener as small or big as you like. And we'll work that 1 inch back and forth, just as if to say hello to the littlest Trump. Look at that. Starting to look like 3 little robin's eggs in a bird's nest. Just a happy little acorn in a pile of leaves. And there you go. I hope you felt the joy of painting Donald Trump's wiener as much as I did.
I just love this stuff.
Hi, kids.
And then, of course, you got, I got all kinds of stuff in here, man. It just doesn't, it never ends. I love Donald. He's for comedy purposes only. Of course. He was comedy gold when he was in office. And now Joe is comedy times 2. You know, and the other thing is you know, here's the thing is you got all these people that got butthurt, you know, because, you know, I don't look at the demeanor of the guy running the show as long as shit is good. You know, as long as the exterior perimeter is good. You know, if the guy knows how to run the country, he can keep prices low, he can keep the gas low, he makes sure that there's affordable housing, affordable food, affordable healthcare, affordable this, affordable everything. Jobs are flourishing. The economy is flourishing. People are happy. You can take almost said the F word, take an effing vacation. You know. And so you said grab him by the, you know, the hoo-hoo. You know, big deal. It was like whenever ago. Yeah, how you take control of a woman, you grab her by the hoo-hoo. And everybody crucified him for that. Oh, yeah, God, he's a vulgar pig. Filthy animal. Jesus. How do you even talk to Donald Trump? I'd never vote for that pig. He's filthy. He's a homophobe, a xenophobe, a thisophobe, a thatophobe. And Joe's just stupid. Again, what am I? I'm just an idiot with an opinion. That's all I got for you. Tomorrow, because I had chaos today when I came home, tomorrow I will have a fully crazily packed show for you, with scheduled out all kinds of good stuff. I'm currently in the process of booking some cool rock star and celebrity comedian guests for the show, also as well as local guests in my area. We're also going to be doing a show at football season. We're doing 4th and Inches. That'll be every Saturday. Saturday night at 8 o'clock on YouTube. It'll probably be right here. Same channel. So same stream. So yeah, I've got that going on. And then, you know, anytime if you're in the area, in the Fort Myers area, and you want to bring some skill to the table, you want to sit down and have some skin in the game, you sit down and banter with this old boy, well, come on down. Come on down. Make my day. Of course, you got to be crazy to hang with Big Mike. You got to sit here. Got to be ready to go. Because I'll tell you, I'm getting crazy here, boys. Get tired. Would love to have somebody Everybody is sitting in the couch. So if you want to come and sit in the couch, you're more than welcome. Love to have you. You want to call me? 2323-374-3855. Hoo-ha! So call me up. Let's do this. Hoo-ha! And hang out with Al Pacino. And hang out with Christopher Walken. Or you can hang out with Hank Hill. Let's go. God damn it, Bobby. You're messing with my microphone. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Get this bitch going. I'm going to go down and eat some dinner. If nobody told you I love you today, I love you. If you're struggling, don't worry. You're strong enough to get through it. Live on, love on, and rock on. And we'll be right back here tomorrow. Tomorrow, we should be around 6 or 7. Now that all the audio stuff is fixed, I think we're back on track. Shit is rocking. I'll have a full-on big boy show for you tomorrow, loaded with comedy bits and really killer content. And again, this is day 2, man. Fuck, I'm just dipping my toes in the water, man. I'm not even in up to my ankle. I just got a couple of toes dragging across the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get after it, though. We're gonna keep building. And I got other stuff, like stuff that's gonna show up. You know, like where I can do picture-in-picture and cool stuff and show you videos and and then I got a guest that where I can put in the picture like right up in here in this corner that I can have, so when I have a guest they can be right up here, and I can do that through Zoom. So there's a lot of shit. It's just I gotta be testing this stuff out. And if you get notifications for my stream and you see all these tests that I do, because sometimes I'm testing shit, man, don't get angry and don't stop getting the notifications. Just fucking delete the notification. Because then when you do want to watch the show and you don't get notified, then you're like, oh, man, missed it. Then you have to go back and watch or go catch up. But I'll keep you up to date. And I'm like I said, you're always welcome to call. 323-374-3855. Until tomorrow, my children. Till tomorrow. You have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you guys then.